What is going on, everybody, and welcome back. I hope you missed these handsome faces just as much as we missed each and every one of you there at home. We are going to be jumping back in just a minute here after, what was it, a 14-12 overtime victory there for UC Davis. So, Jag, I've got to ask a pretty simple question. What can the Underground Kings do better to just snipe that win away?
I think it was just their comp was really made for the attacker round and not so much the defender round, which is funny because they actually did really well in the defender round.
True.
That's where they were able to make their comeback. But the problem is that once they got to overtime, they just didn't have enough defensive abilities to really stop anyone from getting into sight. That's what happened there at the last round. I mean, that flawless round that UC Davis helped seal the deal with, that was pretty impressive. But we'll be moving on to that next map very quickly now, as we're going to be going into what is not Haven.
It's not. I was ready this time.
Haven.
I was ready this time, I swear.
It is Bind, which I think will be a very interesting selection here. This was UC Davis's pick this time around. UGK will be on the defense and buy, and I always find it a very interesting map because again, there is really no mid, so there's no mid control.
Right.
Instead, you play around teleporters that TP you to the other side of the map. Makes it even more defender sided, I'd say, because you don't have to worry about that extra threat of someone coming in through mid, but you never know what can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been thinking about this a lot recently. I think Bind is my favorite map in the game, personally, just to watch. I love Raze, and she's played, I think, the most here on Bind, so I think that's going to be really exciting. I hope we see a Raze, and also I hope from UGK, a Killjoy, a Cypher, something a little more defender-sided. We talked about it at the beginning. You just touched on that a minute ago. They were a team built for the offense, so
There
I
it
hope
is.
that
Looks like Leica's going for the Killjoy. So, you say it and it comes into existence. And on the other side, you say also the
oh,
Rays. It looks like C16 will be going with that. But this is very interesting.
wait!
Snurficles is going for the Viper. I have not casted a Viper in what feels like a lifetime now. And it does make sense because without that mid, her wall becomes even more like important. She can just kind of
Yep.
throw down the entirety of the map and just throw it up like almost like Astra's ultimate, except, as you said, Astra got nerfed to the ground, so she's
Yeah.
gone. But they also are going for a Brimstone, so no Omen on their side. Instead, they're going to be going for an Orbital Strike instead. This comp that's coming out from UC Davis, it is like, it is
That's
either
what caught my attention.
it's
Yeah.
either one of the smartest comps I've seen in a long time, or it
Or the
might
riskiest.
the riskiest, exactly. On the other side, it looks like UGK is learning from their mistakes with having a more defended sided agent like a Killjoy, which they haven't locked in yet. It's actually what they're waiting on. And the rest of their
Oh.
comp looks pretty sound. So I'd
Choose
say
your
their
agent.
comp is kind of the safer bet.
Yeah, I have to agree. I feel like taking a risk with a Viper or a Brimstone is reasonable, but taking a risk with a Viper and a Brimstone, that's a little more out of pocket. That's a little more unusual, and I have to agree. UGK, they're going with the safer comp. That's what I was going to talk about before I sat on my mute button halfway through a sentence. But anywho, I'm back. The voice is back, folks. Don't worry, I wasn't gone for long. Anywho, I'm very excited. I think the Killjoy is going to make a massive difference. I think Lockdown can be crucial on both points of this map as they are relatively kind of, I don't want to say closed in, but once you're on them, it's pretty hard to get back off. So I think Lockdown can really open these up and make fights a little easier for UGK.
I think this is really interesting also. One thing we haven't really touched upon is that Esperanza went from the KO, who I think they did pretty serviceable. It wasn't like the best performance I've ever seen from a KO, but also like one of not the worst I've seen. So like kind of
Right.
like in the middle. But now they've gone over to the Reyna, and I do not like Reyna on Bind personally. I'm not saying it can't work, but I feel like if you want to run a duelist here, you want to go double duelist, why not a Phoenix? Phoenix got those curveballs.
I love
He's
Phoenix.
got he's got the flame wall. He's got the hot hands. He's got a lot of really great abilities that can help set him up to be kind of a solo carry as well as a flanker on this map.
Right.
Reyna, not as much.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. Phoenix is my personal favorite character to play, and I would love to see him as well. Like I said, Raze, she's my girl to watch. I love her. But anywho, I've got to agree. Reyna, feast or famine, and this feels like a really hard map to feast on. I feel like we're going to be stuck on that famine side a little bit. Various is Owl Drone going to get beat up pretty bad there, but it looks like that enemy Sova took some damage in the process as well. So Squid down to 21, and it looks like Various will be able to find that kill, even having that line of sight blocked up a little bit.
Yeah, I got paranoid right out the gate, but Loss was not there with the follow-up shots, and this is very quickly going in UC Davis's favor. But there is JoJo on the flank. We can kind of see them, and yep, now we're going to see their POV.
Yeah, JoJo on the flank, about to meet the bullet there from the Viper, I believe. And there it is. Smurfsicles will find JoJo some great trigger discipline, letting JoJo get a little far enough, just far enough to be comfortable there before turning it around. Lost will find Esperanza, but you've got to find 4 more to really make this win worth it. Or even possible, rather.
Yeah, at this point, you're going to have to try to rotate through, defend your spawn. It is a 4v2. One thing that's really interesting right now is that Leica doesn't have really any ability set up on the point. I know it's the first round, so pistol rounds, you don't want to, get really anything, but where is their turret set up right now? Because their turret has not been firing away at all thus far.
Yeah, the turret not being utilized here is a unique choice. Killjoy's kit is kind of all about that, so definitely going to be interesting to see what comes off the back of that. But the spike already starting to tick just a little bit faster, and UGK, they're certainly running out of time to win round 1, excuse me. And this is going to be a map all about UC Davis. If they win this, they will win the best of 3. And Various with another no
kills.
2 in a row there. Various and C16 just blade in the back. Talk about a backstab there from UC Davis. They go up 1-0.
They do, and Esperano, it looks like they might be getting a Vandal, so we'll see if that actually ends up playing out. But we saw there, that's the thing about Reyna. Unless she gets a kill, she can't really do that much. Saw that
Right.
Esperanto was the last one on B, kind of just like a siren's call at that point. You just kind of distractions. Everyone had already rotated over to A. But if you're Phoenix in this scenario, maybe you're able to drop down, get a hot hands, maybe get the flame wall up as a distraction. Don't think they had any Leers in their pocket that time around. So we'll have to see if Esperanto can kind of step things up. Still a very good round overall for UC Davis.
Yeah, a good round indeed. UC Davis coming out very strong there. C16, however, coming out stronger, able to find secrets there. Smurfsicles picks up Blazer as well, so 2-for-1 trade there in favor of UC Davis once again. And a second time Squid has just been caught out in that corner. Absolutely no value quite yet for UGK. UC Davis, they're looking to wrap up round 2 already.
Yeah, and Esperanto did stick with that Vandal, so there will be at least one AR online for UC Davis next round, as well as all goes well. And going back to what we saw in Ascent, remember, they actually won 3 rounds in a row and then lost a Thrifty round. And that was a very interesting play from UGK. It really worked out well to set them up later on, but we'll have to see if they get to that same scenario once again. They're definitely going to lose this round unless JoJo can pop off with no armor and a classic.
That would be,
Not impossible.
Okay.
Maybe
Well,
impossible.
maybe this time it's impossible, but definitely looking a little bit stronger there in the second half of the round. UC Davis, they got 1 kill early. Things were a little bit shaky for just a second, but they wiped it up just as quickly. And now I feel like we're watching Ascent all over again. There was a 3-0 point difference at one point.
How does Various do this? I mean, Various already has the Hunter's Fury. 4 kills. I'm assuming they've probably gotten some ult up as well as maybe some plants along the way, but that's crazy to have an ult that expensive this early on. Here's the question. Will they actually use it this time? Because one thing you and I kept talking about in Ascent is it felt like they held on to it for like not even just 1 game, like for 3 games. That's how long it felt like.
Yeah, it was weird. It was certainly weird that Sova held on to that as long as he did. Esperanto will find secrets early, and oh my goodness, the blast back into double judge kill there from C16. A flashy kill if I've ever seen one. UC Davis, they have come in running, and they have not slowed down for even a second. Leica will find that first kill of the round onto C16 there, but still a 4v2 in favor of UC Davis. We're going to need pretty close to an ace here if UGK even wants to put a single point online.
They get one more, maybe it's winnable. You see again though, look at the ability usage right now from like everything they have is still on B. They did not really recall their abilities, so it's gonna be UC Davis advantage. You see there is gonna be the poison cloud coming out, and I'm sure there's gonna be a snake bite there any second.
Yeah, I think a snake bite's going to be a pretty expectable thing to see coming through here in just a moment. Leica goes for the plant. Blazer finds one. A 2v3 certainly winnable, but a 2v1.5 a little bit harder. Leica finds another, though. This could be possible here for UGK, but the spike is ticking so fast they definitely will not defuse it in time. That's certainly the closest they've gotten, but that is still a round win for UC Davis.
As we talked about with defensive abilities, so I said UGK didn't really have any last time. And here we're seeing that UC Davis has just a bounty full of them. Not only do they have the attacking abilities that they need, like C16 on that race, getting in with her blast packs and getting a lot of value with that judge originally. But I mean, you just throw in the incendiary as well as the snake bite. You just can't use that spike. You're going to instantly die. You already saw that they were pretty weak on the side of UGK. Really well played for UC Davis, even though they lost a few members along the way. A good lead, but again, we saw that 3-0 lead last time, and then UGK said, you know what, we're just going to win in a thrifty fashion.
That would be the idea. The thrifty would certainly be a good look, so to speak, but UGK, they just cannot find a round beneath them so far. They've got some weapons online this time. I did not catch if it was a full buy or not, but they certainly could use one here. Even one elimination in their favor could really flip this fight on its head. Let's see if it's an exact repeat of Ascent. Are we going to see a 3-1 again, or is it going to be a 4-0? This is the map we watched UC Davis win. I think it was 13-3. So, I mean, they are certainly no stranger here.
And they've already started off pretty well. So Hunter's Fury still have positioning, and
oh wow,
there's not really much you can do right now if you're UGK. You're just gonna try to find off angles, and Secrets is gonna find one.
Secrets finds one, gets a little bit of damage onto the second, but the kill is not going to come through. Esperanto will find Blazer and Various on a wallbang kill, finds Secrets. Squid, a Sheriff, and a Dream. The blast pack going to interrupt the momentum a bit, able to find one. Going to choose not to reload, hanging out with 2 bullets left in the chamber, and Esperanto will force Squid to bite the bullet. 4-0 here in favor of UC Davis.
I feel like C16 there could have gotten the kill if they hadn't used the blast pack. I think it knocked them up. I think they were trying to get into the room, and instead it kind of just booped them up into the ceiling, so they... I mean, here's the thing, like, whenever you get, like, moves in a game like Valorant, you gotta remember, like, basically, where you're firing is not where you're actually gonna end up. Like, you really need to be planted on the ground, not moving. That's the only really way that you can promise that your first few shots will be exactly where your crosshair is there. Get booped right out of the air. In the end, it doesn't matter, but just an interesting play by C16, who has really come back to life after having a not so great beginning to the last map, but since the mid halfway of Ascent and so far here, they have been really showing up.
Yeah, showing up indeed. And speaking of
And they
showing up, there
teleported.
goes JoJo on to C16.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate. That's the caster curse right there. They're still showing up, just not on the right side of the kill feed there, but
They're showing
uh,
up just this time in a body bag. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, that was probably a caster curse, man. I might have to blame you for that one. That was rough.
at first I'm cursing, going to overtime. Now I'm cursing who's dying first. Just basically, if you're being casted by me, you do not want me to see your name. But we'll see whose name is said next, as there are still a lot of ultimates right now online for UC Davis, despite being down someone.
Oh, gonna be down even one more there. Secrets is gonna find Smurfsicles early on. UGK, first time in a long time, they might be able to put this round away. Oh,
Oh,
they've
now
got to
that's
have this one in
gone.
the bag.
Yeah, this is going to be very difficult. And Esperanto also paranoid.
Oh! Shouldn't have gone for the orb there, but I guess you were out of bullets anyway, so you did what needed done. But now, Various, are we gonna see a 4K?
They do know there's one, at least in Hookah, because they did hear the teleporter. And that paranoia is going to give away exactly where the Omen is. But the thing is that right now, Various does not have the spike.
I hate watching that happen, but at the same time, like, the players could never have known, you know? They could have never known where the opponent was when they send an ability out, and it's like, all you did was just give away your location. Like, that did not help the way you may have thought it was going to, but now Various going for the spike plant, not even going to get close, as Lost Blazer will pick them up in the final second to the round there. UGK putting their first point online.
I think there, if you're playing like that, you just have to kind of run into the Omen. I'm not sure if there's communication about how weak the Omen was, but they're giving themselves away. You know you're going to get pincered from basically 3 directions at that point.
Right.
You either go all in for the spike plant and just commit to it, even though you're going to die, or you try to find a trade instead. There you just kind of saw, again, half in, half out this time from Various, who's still, doing very spectacular over the course of this map. But this is another reminder, they have had that Hunter's Fury since round 2 ended. Now on round 5, and still holding on to it.
Yeah, and oh, never mind. Wow, I'm calling that a caster curse, man. That is 3, but there we go. C16 with that first kill onto Switch. The Hunter's Fury not picking up quite as well. The bomb buddy through the wall. They're going to be able to get a little bit of recon. Esperanto waiting in the back corner as well. As UC Davis, they're feeling a little bit more confident. They know they've got the numbers here. Esperanto might make that better, might make that worse. Will certainly make that better, picking up 2 kills off the back, and even the Brimstone ultimate coming out from UC Davis here.
Yeah, the orbital strike could be used a lot like the Hunter's Fury when it comes to canceling ultimates. That's going to be 3 for Esperanto, so making us eat our words about the arena pick. But there you see the orbital strike, just use it to destroy the lockdown. Again, use exactly like the Hunter's Fury. But I think the big play there from UC Davis is that it wasn't actually, the Hunter's Fury actually was kind of dangerous because Various actually hit, I think, like 2 or 3 of their own teammates.
Oh, no.
Why C16 was weak when they actually used their ultimate. But the biggest thing is that it marked someone, because once they're hit, they do get marked for a little bit, kind of like a semi-sonar arrow. So they were able to find out exactly where that person was. That's when C16 launched their rocket. That was the opening kill, and from there they just took over that A site.
Yeah, took over that A site indeed. Now JoJo committing a Blade Storm, so the first ultimate in a while, other than that lockdown, be coming out of the side of UGK. And okay, Squid is gone. JoJo is going to be able to find that kill as well. It looks like, oh, excuse me, no, she's the Hunter's Fury. Never mind. Anyway, Lost Blazer is going to be able to find Various off the back of that. So the 1-for-1 trade, a 3-3, but Smurfsicles just puts JoJo in the ground. Their Blade Storm immediately kissed goodbye. UC Davis, they have the lead again, 6-1. They've if they win, they've already guaranteed, worst case scenario, a tie at halftime.
And I would be shocked if we didn't see the Vipers pick come out here, because it'll completely cover the point. It'll make it very difficult for UGK to get back in. And Caster cursed it once again. It's come into existence, and now the plant is going to come through. It's still very winnable right now for UGK.
Right.
I just don't think you use your Raze ultimate, but okay, I'm just gonna stop talking.
Dude, you just gotta shut up. I don't know what you've done. I don't know if you've made a deal with these players, but that is like 6 caster curses in a row. The showstopper, I mean, it gets a kill, but I don't know how to feel about that. This really is a winnable scenario for UGK, but they've got to be careful, especially now that it's a 1-to-1. Oh, 1 health!
1 health.
Oh, no way. No way. There's no way. I'm at a loss for words for the time being. Immediately dismissed. As Smurfsicles finds that 3rd kill, and Secrets able to find some great value there. Oh man, that's a guaranteed just tie up at halftime. Worst case scenario.
And I feel like there's no way it's only going to be a tie with how many
Right.
rounds have been taken here. Smartsicles played that so smartly, loses both the teammates that you had around you, just lets, you know, the ultimate do its thing, lets everyone get kind of deceived by the Viper's Pit, uses the snake bite to clear off the point. And again, we saw that it looks like Lost has had a few plays where they kind of give away where they are, because there were a few blind fires there, just kind of
Yeah.
shooting outside of the smoke, and immediately Smartsicles knew to turn to that. And they were just really lucky to have how weak the Raze was on the other side.
Yeah, that is. I'm just still shocked you've gotten so many things right in this game. It's incredible because I guess you're just caster. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. You've just blown me away this time, man. Speaking of blowing people away, JoJo has already found an elimination.
Oh, listen, the reason you don't use the Raze ultimate there is because even if you get a kill, I mean, there's still the Viper's Pit on point, so it's going to be very hard to actually kind of retake it.
Oh, snap!
Spike down B.
Speaking of taking things, UGK still looking good though, not quite the flawless.
Not flawless, but still very good round. Probably their best one thus far, unless C16 has something to say about it. And now JoJo's been caught out by the snake bite, so now... And also the paint shells.
Oh!
We're going to die to the paint shells! This could be an ace!
Way.
This could be an ace for C16!
I want it. I want it so bad. I'm a greedy man. If you haven't seen it on Twitter, you know that already. I want an ace so bad. Leica gonna get taken out. Smurfsicles pulls the ace away. Very unfortunate. Secrets finds another kill here, or excuse me, a kill onto Smurfsicles. Raze v Raze is going to come down to which one of these folks can aim just a little bit better.
And right now, I think C16 is probably playing a little bit paranoid because they don't actually know where Secrets is. And Secrets is right behind them. And oh my god, they are coming toe-to-toe, but this is a bait. They're going to try to get them out.
Oh, 13 seconds left on the clock. You need 4 to... Oh, my... All right, not quite an ace, but C16 just... Secrets didn't even get to blink. That was just a bullet to the dome, and that was the 7th round win for UC Davis. That is a guaranteed advantage in halftime. I mean, this could be like a 12-1 and 11-1.
Secrets played that really well, even though they ended up losing that duel.
Yeah.
I mean, they completely caught C16 off guard. They were looking every direction. The problem was that it was after the bait. That's when C16 got the advantage because Secrets didn't look up. They, you know, there's that kind of little part of B where it's you just can't look over it just well enough. You just have to kind of jump up. If they had jumped there, they would have actually been able to catch C16 off guard because they had the spike still in their hands at that point, not their gun. They don't, though. And now, not only does UGK have a 6-round deficit, they also don't have a really good buy here.
Oh, man. Yeah, they don't have a good buy yet, and I think it's already cost them a little bit here. Secrets taken offline by Esperanto. This is going to be not good for UGK. I feel like I'm really starting to repeat myself a little bit, but UC Davis, they've taken the lead once again, and all of a sudden a 4v4. Various finds JoJo. UGK loses another player, a 4v3 or a 4v2.5. This is just a disaster for UGK here. They are not finding their footing even for a second on Bind.
Like 1.5. Look at these health bars for UGK. They're all so weak. Now, I mean, oh my goodness, everyone is weak now. Everyone's in the red.
Yeah, everyone's in the red. Squid finds a kill with the Marshall, but they're like 1 and 5 on that Marshall attempt right now. Various picks up Lost, and it is okay, never mind. I was gonna say it's Squid in a dream, but Squid doesn't even get to blink.
Various gets 3, is helping build up another Hunter's Fury. Pretty close one. Only 1 away now, so they could get that ultimate online very soon. And I honestly don't know what GK can do. We talked about UC Davis's comp. We said it's either going to be big payoff or big throw. And so far, Ed has been bringing in all the bucks. And I think the biggest thing is we haven't actually been mentioning Smurfsicles a lot, which I feel like is a good thing if you're if you're a Viper player. Like,
Sure, yeah.
it kind of reminds me of in a different game, you know, there's a character, not going to mention it right now, but, you know, just basically like if you're doing your job, you're not going to be mentioned too much unless your ultimate's kind of thrown out. That's how it's right now for UC Davis. They are firing on all cylinders, and I believe all of them have pretty good KDAs.
If I'm not mistaken, they're all positive. I did not get to catch whoever was the bottom of the leaderboard, but I can say 4 of them are positive in the KDA scenario. And now another showstopper from C16, a little sloppier than that last one, but it's going to make space no matter what. But Squid with the first kill on the C16, actually, so the showstopper made space in the wrong direction. The spike plant coming out from Nick here, who I completely forgot there was even a brimstone in play the way this game has gone so far. But looks like UGK Esports, they've got the numbers advantage, and looks like that's going to get even better here as Leica finds 2 eliminations, maybe 3, but no, Various will find that vengeance kill. Even coming in a Hunter's Fury immediately after.
And they saw them actually from defusing. They might be able to stop them again, but no, they're not going to be close enough. They're just, it was a well-timed ultimate, but unfortunately there was just not enough pressure. And now,
Oh!
Surgical
Oh!
almost got taken out there. That would have been very bad. They're very lucky.
One more
to not
second.
have- One more second. Very lucky to not have been a kill at the very end of that. It's really just unfortunate for UCVs. I think the biggest thing is if they had Nick alive and they had that orbital strike as well,
Yeah.
they could have just ulted that spike and they would have not lost it. But Nick, they tried to do a cheeky rotation. They tried to take the teleporter to go back more towards market, and it ended up costing them the round.
You know what I said? I said, I think they're all positive. I didn't see the last person on the leaderboard, and the last person on the leaderboard is the only one that is not positive for UC Davis. So 4 of them are, one of them unfortunately is not. But either way, they are 8-2 right now. That is a very aggressive lead. UGK can turn this around. They can pull this into an 8-4 at halftime. And we saw them almost come back from a serious deficit earlier. Esperanto picking up lost, though. Going to be traded out by like C16. Oh my goodness, triple trades across the board. But UGK's Secrets is the sole survivor of combat. This is going to be a tough round to bring back. I think we're best case scenario looking at 9-3 halftime.
Yeah, and I mean, we already said what the worst best case scenario would be, and that would be the 8-4, which is now going to be almost guaranteed out of reach. Not so far. There is still a chance Secrets is able to clutch out, but looks like they've given up their gun and just going for the classic approach. So I'm just maybe trading up for a Phantom. Regardless, I think they're just going to take the L here, try to save this round what they can, and it will be that lead. And UC Davis, they're going to be pretty happy about that because they can also keep the Empress.
Yeah, the scary thing about this, though, they're going to take the L for this round, but you're already in a scenario where you cannot take a lot more of those. You are getting out of the end of your wire, and Secrets double blast pack in, going to catch out, yeah, just 2 attackers waiting for you to show your face, dismissed immediately as soon as they entered the dome there. And now UC Davis, they are up 9-2. They can hit double digits before halftime.
And I'm not exactly sure what Secrets is trying to do there. Maybe go out in a blaze of glory. And again, we saw the blast pack kind of stop someone. They kind of got stuck in the doorway, it looks like. And looks like we'll have another tactical pause, the 4th one of the night, I believe.
Wowee, yeah, I think you're right.
And right now, let's see. This is the last round before halftime, actually. So UC Davis could hit double digits right before the end, and UGK does not have an economy. I mean, Secrets at best, maybe they can get a Spectre and, some other stuff. Same thing with JoJo, who doesn't have the Blade Storm, so they have to commit to a gun. The only one who can really get a full gun is Lost right now, so things are not looking super hot. They do, however, have a Showstopper and a Lockdown, so not all is lost if they're able to use those ultimates in a way that benefits them.
Yeah, I can't see the bottom 2 of the UGK leaderboard just because the colors are the same as the wall behind them, but it looks like, I mean, maybe they're not. I'm colorblind.
It's 4 and 10 and 3 and 9 right now.
Yeah, okay, so they're all pretty negative, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so
all of them are in the negative.
Yeah, okay, and that's, I mean, this has been rough. At the same time, we talked about at the beginning, UC Davis choosing a Viper and a Brimstone at the beginning, like, that's a weird thing, but at the same time, no offense to Smurf and Nick here, they have not needed them. I mean, it has been Esperanto, C16, and various. This, to me, has really felt like a 5v3, and just the 3 people from UC Davis tearing UGK apart here.
I think, I said we haven't been talking about Smurf Sickles a lot, but they are at 9 kills. There's only 1 behind 3rd on the leaderboard, so it's been 12, 11, 10, 9. So,
yeah,
really, this has been a team effort from UC Davis, and unfortunately for Secrets, they're not going to find anything.
Yeah, Bind just seems to be their map. Like I talked about earlier, we saw them, like, I think it was 13-2, 13-3. But case in point, 13, not a lot, another team at the beginning of the season. And now that looks like that train is not going to stop anytime soon. Smurfsicles tied up for 3rd most elims on the team right now. The rest of the team just pushing in as a crew. This looks like possibly a hard push into A.
It does indeed. And one of the ultimates that UGK had, they use it very quickly. And it makes sense last round. Didn't have a lot of other chances, but I mean, there was no one really backing them up there, so they kind of ran in, didn't find anything. Ended up falling immediately after. When to use the lockdown? Because right now that UC Davis is committing to A, and you still haven't used it. And there it is. Again, Captain it.
That one feels a little late too. That lockdown feels weird. Usually you'd expect someone to do that mid spike plant or right before it, but instead gonna wait till they actually plant it. I guess. I mean, had they gone for a defuse at the same time, it would have made sense, but they waited a little bit too long.
They might just get the defuse.
UGK, I was gonna say, oh no, Nick killed Squid. Oh, that's kind of insane, but whoever it is, I think if somebody just goes to die for the cause here, they'll get the defuse before they'll get shot down. I don't think UC Davis is in a good position to tear them apart, and the spike is what? 60, 70% defused already.
50%. Oh, they get it.
No way!
Wait, what? Did they get it? It might go off.
Is this it? Oh, it's got
to
be close.
No, it's close.
1.2. Oh my goodness, UGK. Wait, what was? Oh, the halftime split. Oh my goodness, my heart just dropped when that Blade Storm came out. But no, we're fine. Everything's fine.
That has to be one of the most exciting kind of lopsided halftime last rounds I've ever seen.
Yeah,
You know,
I
where
agree.
UGK is kind of, not having the best time, but then they really show up at the very end. And I have seen where teams can turn around just from that one round win, somehow becomes 5, and then it's an 8-9 game. It's not impossible for UGK. I think the thing there was that UC Davis, they just played a little bit too far off the spike. They do have the incendiary, they do have the shock darts, they do have the Viper's bite, but the snake bite just wasn't there. I think also the one thing I'm noticing is that they're comboing the snake bite
Yeah,
with the incendiary, which can work when there's only one or
it's
two
weird
players
though.
alive, but it was just too soon. They really should have tried to layer those abilities there.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think it's weird to kind of use them the way that we've seen a couple of times here. But, I mean, the Underground Kings, they should really call themselves the Underdog Kings because we have seen them come back from this exact scenario. Last map, we've seen them do it 100 times before, but a 2-for-2 trade immediately out the gate here. That's going to be tough for both these teams to turn it around, honestly. 0 ultimates online. The Viper and the Brimstone, the two people that have been the weird choices, are 2 of the 3 left alive for UC Davis. This is the time to show those picks were worth it.
And there's the Viper wall coming out once
Whoa!
again, and
Not how strong that thing is.
yeah, I mean it does damage, but it's not going to be permanent, which is the
Right.
good thing for Liker. They would have been taking a real beating there, but I'm wondering now how UC Davis kind of re-engages this, because one thing we did notice last time is that they're not really gonna just let the spike be planted, but then Nyx is gonna pop off, so it doesn't even
Squid's
matter.
dead. Yeah, Squid's caught out here. No! Maybe you need 2 more and you're at 19 health, buddy. 1 bullet from death might will not find the kill. Various picks it up, and UC Davis already at double digits.
So what I was trying to say was that UC Davis kind of plays passively when the spike isn't planted or when the spike's about to be planted. They wait for the retake. They don't force during the spike plant. They don't try to stop them from planting.
Right.
They always go for the retake instead. And we've kind of seen that be boom or bust. Mostly boom, I would say. In that scenario, it also worked out pretty well. They've just, kind of rotated well and then kind of waited for the right opportunity to strike there. They're able to go again from different angles. We saw Varys was up top. I think one was actually coming from attacker side, which was really crazy. I'm not sure exactly how Nick got all the way back there, but Nick is now positive. So now everyone on UC Davis has a positive KDA, and only 3 more rounds until they take the series.
Wow. Just to think how close Ascent was to turn into what could be a 13-3 is shocking. Esperanto hardly taking damage there, but every single digit counts here, from 100 down to 91. And UGK, if they can find 1 elimination early like that, that's a good way to start this up. Now, you took a little bit of damage in the process, but if JoJo can find a 2-for-1 trade, knocks down to a little bit less than 70 here. Oh.
I think we might have lost. We
Oh,
lost
wait.
you there for a second, but now.
Oh, I vanished. It was my
Yeah.
fault that time. All right, whatever. I'm back. Anyway, UC Davis looking not too hot here. UGK, they are up by 1 player, and it's going to be a 4v3 with the Jet at that half health. Probably only a couple of bullets from death here.
And you saw there that UGK, they forced this round. They realized how important this round was, so they had to buy because they realized, if it gets to 11, there's no way for us to really come back from this. And
Oh,
even
no.
though Esperanto could get the ace, Esperanto gets the ace!
Let's go, baby. The ace comes through. That is the second one. That is all I wanted, and I absolutely love to see it. Not only the ace, but the round win. And now UC Davis, they are 2 rounds away from one of the most dominant games I have seen in a long time. Well, since like this past weekend.
This has been pretty dominant, and I gotta ask Epsilon, are you happy now that you got to see your other ace?
I'm hype. I'm so hype. I love them. I think they're fantastic. And don't get me wrong, I wish UGK could get one, but an ace is an ace. And I'm sure you could hear by me chanting ace like a barbarian. I was very excited to see that come to the table. And UC Davis, they are a very impressive team. They really are.
And this is a team we followed for a long time. We saw them in NECC, and they were dominant there. They've been dominant here. They've already had a past here. And it looks like they're going to have a very easy road to get these next 2 rounds, because UGK, they forced in the last round. Now they've got to go for a light buy, and this is not the time you want to go for a light buy at all. UC Davis, they also have the Empress online, so there are a lot of win conditions here for them to wrap this series up.
Yeah, there are quite a few ways to win this one. The short buy only being one of them, but just in another ace, the flawless round that we've seen a couple of times already. UGK, they are on the ropes. They truly have their back against the wall, and they've got. I mean, I've seen 3 sheriffs, and I didn't catch the other 2 weapons. But case in point, I mean, they do not have a lot of firepower.
It's all sidearm.
Oh.
I think
man.
they realize that they have to save for the next round, so
Yep.
they're just gonna go for the light buy. And then the question is, if UC Davis wins this, can UGK bring it back 9 rounds in a row?
Oh, wow. 9 rounds in a row. I've seen it. I have seen a team come back from, like, I think it was a 10-2, and they actually crawled back and won 13-10. But I'm not sure we're going to be seeing that here from UGK. The Empress is online. It's a 4v3. You already got the numbers disadvantage and the firepower disadvantage. There's so many things that can go wrong for UGK here.
And the Viper is just one of them.
Down A.
Oh, the bomb buddy, JoJo, staring death in the face and laughing. However, UC Davis will still win the round off the back of it, 12-3. That very well could have been our penultimate round. This could be over right here, right now. 5 eliminations separate UC Davis in a complete undefeated regular season.
So here's the one good thing about what just happened there for UGKs. Even though they lost, they took out 3 members on their way out. So it's going to force UC Davis to buy. UC Varus actually can't even go for a full buy, while everyone on the side of UGK can.
Right.
So this could, if UGK can win this round and keep this map alive, there is a world where they can come back for at least a few rounds, because UC Davis, if they lose, their economy is going to be down the drain for a little bit. So it's not over until it's over for UGK.
Yeah, it's not
It's not
over
looking
till it's
good,
over,
but
right? It's certainly not looking good. I have my hopes. We've seen UGK crawl back from an 8-round deficit, but what a horrible way to start what is probably your final round. Losing not only a player, but your killjoy so early, that is disastrous. All of that kit is going to be taken offline immediately. UC Davis here, they've pretty much just done everything but sign the receipt. This has just been pretty heavily one-sided. UC Davis is ready to wrap this one up.
I mean, there are some good angles right now being held in lights, but Squid does get the wall bank onto Varius, and now it is a 4v4, and I mean, that was the rally cry, but Esperanto's all the way behind him, and Nick with the operator in the orbital strike.
I feel like they're lucky that only killed one of them. They were lined up there like a colony of ants, but no, only one of them fell. UGK's JoJo will find C16 here in the firefight. 12-3, 3-3. Oh, Esperanto goes, it finds 1, finds 2, finds 3. Blink and you miss it. That comes to a close bind. Only 16 rounds played, 13 of them going to UC Davis in a fit of rage, in a round of glory.
I was like, once Esperanto is on this flank, it is all over. No one was looking at Hookah. It was a really good rotation after they got the kill on A from UGK to go all the way to B, but they didn't leave anyone behind. I think that's the biggest thing. Knowing that teleporters, you got to leave at least one person covering your flank. Instead, there was no one there. Esperanto just was able to get behind because of the fact that the orbital strike came down. Everyone was distracted. You saw JoJo use the blaze storm and immediately turn around, and it was kind of like one of those slow-mo uh-oh moments. They realized like there's no way they can win this fight in the middle of the air after using their upwind. An unfortunate end to what was a great series, especially that first map. UGK really came out swinging, but they just could not keep that momentum here on our second map. Bind, very one-sided for UC Davis.
Yeah, and I've got to give huge credit to Esperanto there. Doing well on Ascent, right? Living up to the other 9 players in the lobby, but I feel really running away with a majority of what we saw on Bind. Just that oh no turns into an Esperanto oh no, if you know what I mean. Just single-handedly the reason that final round ended in favor of UC Davis, and they have completed the normal season not dropping a single map. That is incredible.
Yeah, and they might not be the only team that comes out of the regular season undefeated. There is a team in Vandal Division that also is undefeated game-wise, but they have dropped 1 map so far. So well, let's see how that ends up. That could be our 2 finalists when they finally get to meet. Who knows? The regular season has come to an end with that victory. Both teams are still locked in. UC Davis #1. We'll have to see where UGK ends up shaking down after that loss. I think they are locked in third no matter what now, so I think that's where they'll end up.
Yes.
If O2 loses, maybe things. Actually, I think it is. Yeah, I think they are locked in no matter what. So we have our top
3 ain't
4.
bad though. That's a podium.
It's not bad. It's making playoffs. You're still in the running for part of that $2,000 prize pool that everyone is competing for. So not a bad regular season at all.
Certainly so. And, folks, that does, unfortunately, feels very quickly, but brings our night to a close. So I'm sure I can speak for both Jag and myself when I say it has been a wonderful experience getting to know these teams, getting to cast all of these players, and just getting to hang out and work for UPL and getting all of this work done. Thank you, everybody, so much. A shout out to First Night of Knee, our wonderful producer, and our good friend Juke, who is often our producer, but today I got to work with him as an observer for the first time, which was very cool, and he's just as talented as he is at producing. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Jag, a pleasure as always, my man. Check your posture, drink some water, don't forget to love each other, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.